Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Carla from Rehan Allahwala's World of Connections. And today I am here to speak to Abiodun Okanlawon. I think she'll be doing some correction of my pronunciation of her name, and she is from Nigeria. And we're going to talk about her life a little because I know nothing about Nigeria. Her work, she works for the World Literacy Foundation, and her passion for her work, her passion to help the children become literate instead of illiterate.
Mhm.
And having said this, I'm reminding you that the show is sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which is an online organization promoting peace one conversation at a time. Okay, Abiodun, please introduce yourself and tell me the best way to say your name.
Okay, thank you, Carla. My name is Abiodun Okanlawon. You can just call me Abby. Abby would be okay for something short and simple. You can call me Abby. I am the Director of Program Development of Songbooks in Nigeria. Songbooks was established by World Literacy Foundation to enhance the literacy skills of teachers and learners in low-income communities. So we go to low-income schools where we have children who cannot afford so much.
Abiodun, can I ask you one favor? Can you speak a little slower so it's easy for people around the world to understand what you are saying?
Okay,
You have great English, but sometimes they need to hear it slower. Thank
okay, okay. Okay, thank you, Carla. So my name is Abiodun Okanlawon. You can call me Abby. I am the Director of Program Development of Songbooks in Nigeria. Songbooks was established by the World Literacy Foundation to enhance the literacy skills of teachers and learners in low-income communities. We go to our public schools in Nigeria to help learners who cannot read, write, or communicate effectively. We'll train our teachers on how to teach literacy with the use of our Songbooks tablets. The Songbooks tablet is a quality educational device where we have ebooks that can be used to train students to help them to read and write effectively. On our tablet, we have more than 600 ebooks. We also have phonic materials where our children can go to learn how to read, to learn how to write, and to learn how to communicate effectively. So while we train our teachers on how to teach literacy, we also ensure that the learners are learning effectively in the classroom. So that's what I do at World Literacy Foundation.
How long have you been working for them?
Okay, I've been working for them since January 2021 this year.
Oh, so you just started. What
Yes, this year.
what what work were you doing before then?
Okay, before now, I was a Teach for Nigeria fellow. Teach for Nigeria is an NGO in Nigeria that also addresses something similar to this. We go to low income schools to go and help our children, to help them in their literacy skills, their numeracy skill, and also their basic science skills. So Teach for Nigeria usually posts their fellows to public primary schools to go and teach mathematics, English, and basic science. So we go there to go and help those children to read, to write, to communicate well. We make sure that numeracy wise, they are getting it so well. We help them to to be so good and wonderful, even in mathematics, not only English language. And we also help their science skills. We develop them in some basic science aspect that they need even in their journey in life. So before now, I was a fellow of Teach for Nigeria.
And how long had you been a teacher?
Okay, I've been a teacher for okay since my NYSC days. I've been a teacher since 2014, 2014, 2015. Then I continued also in the teaching line till now.
And did you always want to be a teacher?
Okay, yes. Okay, one thing I'll first say is that I went to the university to study English language. I have the gift of teaching, but I never planned to be in the education sector. I could teach so well. I could communicate with people so well. I mean, I could teach them and they would understand. But I never planned to stay in the education sector. I just wanted to go study English, go and do some lecturing to adults in the university. So I didn't see myself dealing with children in the classroom. But when I went for the Teach for Nigeria fellowship, and I was posted to a low income public school in Ogun State, Nigeria, I discovered the challenges these children experience, especially in their literacy skill. I saw children that couldn't identify some English alphabets. I saw children that could not read. I saw basic, is it basic three learners that were still struggling. They were still struggling identifying some English alphabets. So when I identified these challenges, I began to work on them. I was so passionate about seeing these children begin to read, write, and communicate well. I was not very happy with what I saw there because I expected something better. The whole thing in Nigeria is that many children in low income communities cannot afford quality education. Their parents cannot afford to send them to standard schools. Their parents cannot afford to pay so much for their school fees, and so they have to settle for schools in low income communities. So when they settle for school in low income communities, many of them usually lack access to basic literacy skills that they need to excel in life. So when I got to the classroom in 2018 as a Teach for Nigeria fellow, I saw these children, I saw their challenges, their defects. I saw that they couldn't read, they couldn't write. I was not happy with them. And so I decided to bring up strategy, methodology, technique. What can I do to make this one to read? I have to go back to the foundation to letters of alphabet. I have to go there, teach them A to Z. This letter A, this letter B. Many of them that couldn't identify, I had to make them to start identify. After then, I went to sounds. I taught them the sounds of each of these alphabets. I took it from letter A to letter Z. After we went on with the sound, we started blending. I will start with two letter words. When I got there, many of them could not even pronounce two letter words. Just so they couldn't put I and T to pronounce it. They couldn't put A and T to pronounce art. They couldn't put O and N to pronounce on. They couldn't put M and E to pronounce me. And so I started bringing together different sounds. I started with two letters, and from there moved to three letters, four letters, five letters. And before I left as a Teach for Nigeria fellow last year, my children were doing wonderfully well. When I met them, like 90% of them or more than could not even read, write, and communicate effectively. But when I was leaving them last year, oh my God, more than 85% of them could now read, write, and communicate well. So I got that passion when I went in as a Teach for Nigeria fellow in 2018, within 2018 and 2020. So now I want to stay in this sector. I want to stay to help children who lack the ability to read, to write, and communicate effectively. I want to stay to make sure that children who cannot afford quality education, they have access to it. I want to stay to make sure that teachers who lack the skill to teach literacy are empowered. Many of these teachers are actually so passionate about their children. They want to see their learners read, write, and communicate well. But the challenge is that they lack the skill, they lack the expertise, they lack what they need to help these children. And so I want to train as many teachers as possible to begin to teach literacy effectively. I want to teach them what they need to know to handle these learners very well. I want to train them to go and perform better in the classroom. I want to train them to even become passionate about the future of these children. These children literacy, what, because of this their lack of literacy skill, their future right now is insecure. Their future right now is bleak, because many just of opportunity will be close to them if they don't speak well, if they don't write well, if they can identify alphabet, if they can't blend sounds, if they can't read and communicate well, they won't access so many opportunities in life. And so I want to make sure that for these children, doors of opportunities are open to them. I want to make sure that academic wise they perform so well. Because once a child cannot read and write, once a child is deficient literacy wise, then that child will not be able to perform well in all other subjects. A child that can't read well cannot answer questions in basic science, in social studies, in creative, in is it art and creative. I mean our art and creative subjects. Once a child cannot read well, that child cannot answer questions in all of those subjects, because in Nigeria our official language is English language. And so we all our exams are done in English, except for our language subject like our Yoruba language, Igbo, English, Igbo, and Hausa, and all that. Apart from all those three other subjects, all other subjects. So when I was a fellow in teach for Nigeria, I tell my children, I tell them, see, we don't have mathematics language. There is no basic science language. There is no social studies language. There is no creative art and creative science language. What we use for all our subjects in Nigeria is English language. We are going to write all exams in this country in English language. Apart from all other indigenous language subjects, like as I've mentioned before. So I made them serious. I told them that you can't be speaking English on the streets and your friend is laughing at you. You can't be speaking English on the street and a child who attends private school beside you is laughing at you. I give them reason. I tell them that if we don't learn how to speak at this time, there are so many opportunities you will not be you will not be able to attain in life. So I make them see reasons why they should speak well, why they should communicate well. I make them see that there are so many opportunities lying outside there, but without this skill of reading, writing, and communicating well, you can't access those opportunities. I also make them know that, see, academic wise, if you don't perform well in English language, you're going to fail all other subjects. You're not going to perform well because a child who is deficient in literacy will actually fail in all of that, because we have to answer questions for all other exams in English language. So he's not able to read the question placed before him or her. And so I want to make sure that in Nigeria, our teachers, they are empowered with these skills. They are able to teach well. Many of the children lack this skill because they do not have teachers who can teach them so well, because their teachers lack the skill to teach them effectively, because their teachers lack the expertise to teach them effectively. So I want to make sure that these teachers are well trained to go and dish out the best in the classroom. I want to make sure that they are well trained to go there and do something wonderful in the classroom. I want to even make these teachers passionate about those children. And while I train them, I also want to track the learners' progress to make sure that these learners are moving from point A to point B, to make sure that they are achieving something great in their academic, like maybe literacy, even in all of the subjects also. I also make sure that when the teach literacy, they teach it, because I also co-teach literacy in the classroom. When a teacher is teaching in the classroom, I go there to go and supervise. I go there to go and inspect what that teacher is teaching. I go there to go and make some contributions, to make some corrections. So right now, I'm just very passionate. Right now, I want to stay in education. I want to stay in this field to make impact. I want to stay in this field, especially for children in low-income communities. In Nigeria, in our low-income communities, 8 out of every 10 learner cannot read, write, or communicate well. Our primary learners who are living at the primary school, 60% of them cannot read, write, or communicate well, even in their primary Cs, in their last basic class to get to the secondary school. And so many of them now get to secondary school, and so they can't read, they can't write, they are struggling to read, struggling to write, struggling to communicate well. And so right now, I didn't plan to be here, but I'm now here in the education sector, and I want to stay. I want to stay for good. I want to make impact. I want to do so many things to make sure that children and teachers in low-income communities have access to quality literacy skills. Thank you, ma'am.
When You said a lot and you brought it all out. And
Thank
let's,
you.
can we go back a few steps? When did
Okay.
you become so passionate about this? Because you are, and that's why I didn't say slow down, because you needed to get it all out. When did it start?
Okay, I became passionate about this in 2018, 3 years ago.
And what made you so passionate about it?
Okay, because I was so much concerned, I was so much burdened about the plights of children in low income communities. I wanted them to have access to quality education like their counterparts in private schools, in standard private schools. So I got passionate to help them, to even help their teachers. I saw that their teachers lack the skills, they lack the expertise to teach these children in the classroom. And so I got passionate about training these teachers and also helping them to track their learners' progress.
Okay. How have you helped them so far become better at what they do?
Okay, so right now for our Sunbooks project in Nigeria, I okay, starting from my previous experience as a Teach for Nigeria fellow, my children, when I got to them in the classroom, 97% of them could not read, write, or communicate well. But after spending 2 years of them, 2 years with them, more than 85% of them can now read, write, and communicate well. Now, for our Sunbooks project in Nigeria, we presently work with 3 public primary schools in Lagos State. And so I go into those schools with our Sunbooks tablets. I train these teachers with our tablets. I train them on how to teach literacy. I also help them to track their learners' progress. So when we start the project, well, like when Sunbooks project starts in any location, we usually administer what we call the baseline test. The baseline test is there to help us to know the ability of the student to know their levels in reading, writing, and communicating and communication. And so after we administer this test, we go on with the project. Mid project, maybe 3 months after, 6 months after, we administer this test again to see if learning has taken place. And so when I started the project in January this year in Nigeria, I did some baseline tests for those children. And right now, I started I've administered the end-line test again to see if learning has taken place. And I can say that yes, it has really taken place. I saw a huge difference between what they did in January and between what they did the last time I conducted the online test for them. So right now I've been able to train teachers in 3 public schools on how to teach literacy effectively. I've also been able to help them to track the progress of their learners. I've also been able to co-teach, to stay with them and make sure that they teach effectively in the classroom. So right now, our project is presently impacting over 120 children in low-income public schools in Nigeria.
It's fascinating.
Thank you.
You said you're giving them ebooks. Where do all, how are you doing this? Do they have the hardware to support the ebooks?
Okay, so in some books, we have a platform, we have a Tendril platform where we have all our materials uploaded. Now, we usually receive funding from organizations that are willing to give us grants, from our partners. They give us grants to run those projects. And so we usually use this funding we receive to buy tablets for those children and the teachers. So once we come in to the school with these tablets, so I now install the Sunbooks app on this our tablet. And so we install the app. The Tendril is controlled from Australia, our headquarters, that headquarters of World Literacy Foundation. And so all uploadings are done in Australia. So once something is uploaded on the ebook, there is a sign that shows on our tablet in Nigeria. Once we switch on our hotspot, a sign comes up when we get to any section of the tablet. it tells us that, oh, you are supposed to upload or update something. Yeah, so from time to time, we update our tablet. So the children do not need internet to access the tablet once the tablet has been fully installed. What I just need to do is to update this tablet from time to time, maybe once a month, once in 2 weeks, or maybe when I'm told that, oh, you just uploaded something on the tablet, kindly update. And so we have a Tendu platform where we get all our materials uploaded. So once it gets uploaded, it shows on our Songbooks app right here in Nigeria. So the children, they don't have any challenge. What we just need to do from time to time is to make sure that we get our platform updated from time to time, and our children can also access this tablet without the use of the internet.
That's great. Now,
Thank you.
who pays for these tablets?
Okay. So,
And do the
mhm.
kids keep the ones that you give them for life?
Okay, so this is what we do. We buy our tablets with the funding we receive from our partners. We usually look out for grant opportunities to run our projects. Once a grant opportunity is opened, we apply for the grant, and if it's successful, we are given the grant to run the project. And so we usually depend on funding from our partners. We don't take money from teachers or from these children. We run our projects for them free. Even if you are on the project there, maybe for more than 1 year, you run it for free. We don't take anything from the school or from the. We only make sure that we look out for grant opportunities to make sure that this project keeps running. And for the tablets, this is how we do it. In some books, we don't allow our teachers or learners to claim ownership of tablets. What we do is that we give tablets to schools. The school is the owner of the tablets. Once the children once they want to have their literacy class, they take the tablets to the classroom, do the literacy class, take this tablet again. We usually have a security box where we keep all our tablets in the school. We understand that maintaining those tablets is not something that is quite easy. Children cannot, children, they need to be supervised when they're using this tablet. They need to be monitored from time to time while using them. And so we can leave it to them and say, oh, take this tablet home, or maybe handle this tablet yourself when you want to do anything. We make sure that we hand over the tablet to the school through the head of the school. So tablets are handed over to the school. During our teacher training, we go to our security box, bring out those tablets, train our teachers. After the training, we take it back to our security box again. Once it's time for literacy class, maybe any teacher wants to use it, okay, what I do when I get to school every day is that I take tablets to classes, like, oh, this class has a particular population, so I go to class primary one, give them their tablets, or primary six, primary three, give them their tablets. And so once they want to have the literacy class, the teacher switches on the tablet for them and they use the tablet to teach. Once the school is over for the day, we return the tablet back to our security box. So we have where we keep them to keep them secured, because we know that maintaining technology is not quite easy. We need to monitor and make sure that these things are handled effectively. And so I monitor the use of the tablet. I monitor our security box. I monitor the children while they're using them. I monitor teachers during teacher training. And once we also train our teachers on how to use the tablets, they are very good. They are very okay handling the tablet themselves in the classroom. So many a time, I do not necessarily have to stay in the class with the teachers while using the tablet. They once they have been trained to use them, then we believe that they can use the tablet without any form of trouble, without any form of difficulty. Teachers don't take our tablets home. Children don't take the tablets home. We keep them safe in a security box within the school compound.
Yeah, that's probably extremely important.
Mhm.
You work for the World Literacy Foundation,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And that foundation, I believe, is in Austria. I mean,
Yes.
Australia, not Austria.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How did you get connected with them? That's thousands and thousands of miles away.
Okay, so I'm going to start tonight with saying special thanks to Teach for Nigeria. When I was a fellow at Teach for Nigeria, there is something that we usually do as fellows. They call it the Be the Change project. During the Be the Change project, we carry out community projects that will be of benefit to the children or the teachers or even to the community members. So the Be the Change project is always done at, the Teach for Nigeria. They usually add their fellows just for, it's a 2-year fellowship. So the second year we carry out projects. During my days as a fellow, I partnered with other 4 fellows of Teach for Nigeria. We became 5, and we organized a virtual literacy conference on how to train teachers to teach literacy effectively. And so we had attendees from Nigeria, from Uganda, and from Ghana. We brought together these teachers from different countries to attend this webinar. And so we had to make it virtual because it was during COVID. I completed my Teach for Nigeria fellowship during the onset of the COVID-19. And so, because I had interests in literacy, they saw the passion. And so Teach for Nigeria has a community that is called the alumni community. After our days as fellows, we are not just allowed to go out like that. We are brought together as alumni to still work together to make sure that the education sector in Nigeria still functions effectively. And so my passion for literacy opened the door for this. So when World Literacy Foundation wanted to get a person to work for them, they had to look for a passionate person or who has done this before, who has this field, who can do this for us. And so they had to look out to Teach for Nigeria for a competent hand to handle their projects. So basically, that's where the opportunity came from.
Okay, maybe I didn't answer it clearly.
Okay.
Ask it clearly.
Okay.
Andy K is in Australia.
Yes, yes,
You're
yes.
in Nigeria.
Okay.
Did you meet in person or did you meet in using technology?
Okay. Okay. So this is how this let me start from the beginning of all this again. And so there is an organization in Nigeria called the Dream School Foundation. Dream School Foundation was
Whoa,
established.
stop for a moment. This is very simple. Did you
Okay.
meet in person or did
No,
you meet using technology?
okay, yeah, we met using technology.
Right.
We have never met in person till now.
So you got this job using technology.
Yes, yes,
What
you're right.
what language did you speak with him in at that point?
Okay, I spoke English language.
Which is the language is Spanish?
No, not Spanish. English language, our official language in Nigeria.
Oh, I didn't know
Yes,
that it was the official language of Nigeria.
yes. English is our official language in Nigeria.
So you spoke to him in English.
Yes, yes,
Have
yes, yes.
you been, and are you using technology in order to grow the foundation also?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay, how do you grow the foundation using technology?
Okay. So we have what we call the songbooks. The songbooks is our tablets. We call it songbooks because this project started in Uganda. So when they started in Uganda, in the location where this project started, they had no access to electricity. And so they had to use the solar power to charge the tablets. And so they couldn't use electricity to charge the tablets. And so it's because we're using the sun, the solar power to charge the tablet. That is why we call our tablets sun books. So even when we have other locations, even when we produce electricity, we still decided that let us still call our table sunbox. And so I use technology to grow this foundation in the sense that our materials they are installed. Like we will have no cause to say that oh a book is missing, we can't find this book, maybe a hard copy book is gone. I use technology to make sure that our literacy materials are kept and maintained and updated from time to time. And so technology helps us to make sure that all our materials are kept in safe hand. Like we could go online any year. In fact, in 50 years to come, we're going to meet all our materials on our Songbooks app. That's technology. And so through technology, I train the teachers to become effective teachers, to teach literacy effectively. I also use the tablet to teach children. These teachers also use this tablet to teach those children in the classroom. And so through technology, I have been able to bring up teachers literacy wise. I have been able to help teachers to become effective teachers. I've also been able to improve the literacy skills of children in low income communities. And so with our technology, we are reaching out to many children, reaching out to many teachers. The more we impact these children, the more partners are willing to give us funds to grow our project. The more we use technology, the more we get more tablets to the schools, the more doors of opportunities are open to us financial wise. And so we use technology to train our teachers, teach our learners, and the more we go deep into this, into addressing this challenge, the more we are able to impact so many other children and teachers all over the world. The more we are known and the more we keep making impact in the global community.
So, what you do is extremely important.
Very important, very important.
And do you believe that technology helps us understand different cultures around the world?
Yes, it does. It does because when we go online through any device, once we get this digital device, once you have this your phone, your laptop, once you have all the gadgets you need to go global. So once you go global, you are able to access anything in the world. You are able to access anything anywhere in the world. And so through reading online, making some research, we are able to get conversant with what is going on in the outside world. We are not just maybe just fixed to what is in Nigeria. Oh, what I know only right now is what is going on in my country. No. We are able to go out there. You are able to go global through technology. Technology sends you, in fact, as I'm seated right there, I can visit the USA, I can visit China, I can visit Italy, I can visit Spain. I don't need to take a flight out of Nigeria to go to a country. I can go to a country through my technology. I can move to the outside world through my phone, through my laptop. So sometimes if I need something in a country, I don't need to go and buy it, to go and get visa, go and get international passport. I can from this room in Nigeria go to any country of the world, go and make research about them, learn I can even learn their language online. I don't need to get someone over there. Oh, come on, I can learn their language online. So there are so many things that technology avails us. So through technology, I can learn the cultures of so many countries and communities in the world.
So, isn't it amazing? Think
Yeah,
you and I would have never met if it wasn't for technology.
yeah, you're right.
We wouldn't know each other. We wouldn't be talking to each other as we are now if it
Mm-hmm,
wasn't for technology.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And what I find kind of funny is that when I was a kid in school, traveling to another country was very, it was a big deal. But now I can travel to any country
Mm-hmm.
I want just by picking, getting on Zoom or getting on Facebook, or
Yeah.
we are on StreamYard now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I am really excited. You and I would have never met if it hadn't been for technology.
Of course, of course.
And we wouldn't have met if we did not both speak English or have an
Mm-hmm.
English background.
You're very right.
It's very exciting. Are you
Mm-hmm.
living with your family now?
Yes, I still stay with my parents.
So you're not married yet.
I'm not married yet.
Okay. Very good, actually. Is
Thank
there
you.
anything else you want to tell us about yourself?
Okay, I come from a family of eight. I'm the third born. And so, one special thing about me is that God has helped me to identify my passion for children in local communities. I want to keep working with them. I had my first degree English language, I had my master's English language. I was planning to go for a PhD when I got into Teach for Nigeria. And so when I got there and I saw those challenges, I saw that, oh, so right now, oh, why will I be doing a PhD while there are children out there who need help? I can still help them and still do my PhD also. But right now, I'm so passionate about this, about helping them. While I still want to do my, yes, I'm still doing for my PhD, but I think those children need help. They need attention. They need someone to help them, someone to bring them up. And so I see God helping me in that aspect to make sure that we reach children in income communities, to make sure that children who lack access to quality education are beginning to read, to write, and communicate effectively. So I'm passionate about children in low income communities.
It's very exciting to see what
Thank you.
technology does around the world.
Hmm.
Anyway, believe it or not, we have been speaking almost 40 minutes.
Yes, almost.
Do you have any last words you want to leave our audience with?
Okay. I want to tell them to arise, to help in any possible way. They may not have the expertise or the skill to help these children, but they can give out funds. They can partner with organizations who are addressing this literacy challenge. They can partner with them. They can raise funds for them. They could also help them to share what they do virtually online. Let people be aware of what we are presently doing to help the low-income communities. I want to call on the global community to arise for children in low-income communities. I want to call on the global community. So I want to let's come together to make impact. Let's come together to help those children. They need this. They need this. If they don't have access to this, we'll be denying them of that wonderful future they should have. So I'm encouraging the global community that it is time for us to arise. It is time for us to do what we can to rescue those children, to rescue them from illiteracy, from being illiterate. Let's rescue them from illiteracy. Let us bring them up out of this pool of not being able to read, not being able to write or communicate effectively. Whatever you have, your little, your plenty will be so much needed to make sure that we get these children into into the future they should have. You get these children into what they should have in life to excel. So I'm calling once again on the global community Let us come together to fund literacy organizations, that are working on empowering teachers and learners in low-income communities. You can do something. I can do something. Let us join the fight. Thank you.
You are really a fireball. And
Thank
it's
you.
wonderful to listen to you speak. It's
Thank
very,
you.
very inspiring.
Mhm.
I think we're going to end right now. Thank you so very, very much for speaking with me. Don't
Thank
go
you.
anywhere. I'm going to end the show now. I want to
Okay.
thank those who watched and
Mhm.
those who listened, and let you know that I will be back with more interviews. Actually, I have one a little later tonight, and
Okay.
we will speak in English about the
Mhm.
importance of knowing English and
Mhm.
sharing our knowledge around the world and our cultures around the world.
Mhm.
And with that, can we all wave? Oh, don't forget, we are sponsored by the Institute of Peace, which
Yeah.
promotes peace one conversation at a time. Can we
Mhm.
wave goodbye, everyone?
Bye.
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 And we will see you later. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so very much.